What is happening, everybody? Greg Ehrenberg here from Odd Shopper. It's time to break down Thursday's slate of sports. So as you come in, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we are about to break down all my favorite bets via the Odd Shopper tools that we have for Thursday. Going to be looking at the NBA game. There was no basketball yesterday, but it is going to be back tonight. And then, of course, the baseball games that are spread out throughout the day. And also, I want to give a shout out to Timothy Strong. Tweeted at me yesterday, and my Twitter handle here at GEhrenbergDFS. Odd Shopper Parlay Builder and the Community Parlay going off. If you don't have it, you need to get it 100. And yeah, just if you guys can't see everything that's on the screen right here, the parlay that Timothy had, the big one that paid off for him, it was under 1.5 total basis for Vlad Jr., under 1.5 total base for Trent Grisham, under 1.5 total basis for Eddie Rosario, under 1.5 total basis for Harold Castro, and then over 0.5 basis for Eugenio Suarez. This was a $50 bet that he placed on a plus 1141 parlay. Good for a return of $570. So Timothy Strong, his subscription to Odd Shopper, paying itself off with just that one bet right there. And if you guys want access to the tools that Timothy is using to make himself some money, good news for you because we have a 7-day free trial available that all you have to do to get access to is click on the link that we have below in the description box because we've got projections for pretty much every sport and the ability to build parlays in our parlay builder, which I'm going to be doing in a little bit on this show as well. But let's get over to some of the bets that we have for today. And one thing to mention about the basketball game for tonight is that Gabe Vincent is questionable to play. And the Heat do weird things on their injury reports. So sometimes we see players who are, not really injured are listed as questionable. A lot of other times as well, we'll see guys just regularly listed as probable when they don't actually have injuries. But I think this Gabe Vincent injury is significant. I think it's actually something that really exists. So I am going to be a little bit hesitant to give out any kind of recommendations on any of the Heat side of the games, particularly the role players, just because I need more information on Gabe Vincent. I don't want to go out and tell you guys that this under Caleb Martin is something that I want to go put my money on and then find out that Gabe Vincent gets ruled out and no longer looks good. So we've got an under for Gabe Vincent, which I'll talk about in a second, which I do think makes sense if he ends up playing and potentially being limited. But I have a little more interest in Celtics side of the game just because on the Boston side, we don't have any of those kind of injuries to deal with. Although, not in terms of injuries that are going to hold players out, but somebody like Malcolm Brogdon, our number one EV bet of the day, under 15.5 PRA for Brogdon, typically, or not typically, but as of a couple weeks ago and throughout the regular season, I don't think we would ever bet an under on 15.5 PRA for Malcolm Brogdon. In fact, that number would seem like a misprice and we'd like the over. But Brogdon himself is not healthy. He's playing through an elbow injury. It's impacting his performance and his playing time. So here's how his playing time has trended over the course of this series. 37 minutes in game 1, 26 minutes in game 2, 18.5 minutes in game 3, and then last game, 16.5 minutes in game 4. This is not a healthy player right now. Malcolm Brogdon is great when healthy. That's just not the case right now. He's getting treatment on his elbow, and as long as he's not going to be 100%, it looks like the Celtics are going to be limiting his minutes. So I like under 15.5 PRA for Malcolm Brogdon. The one other bet that I want to talk about here is the Gabe Vincent under. It projects well for us under 17.5 PRA. Vincent is not healthy right now. Like I said, I think there's a realistic chance he sits today. If he sits, the bet gets voided. So, that is what it is. Not the biggest deal in the world if you place a bet and then it gets voided and you just get refunded on it. But I think there's a real chance that Gabe Vincent tries to play today, doesn't feel 100%, doesn't play well, only plays a few minutes and comes out of the game. So with that in mind, give me the under 17.5 PRA on Gabe Vincent. It already projects pretty well, and there's a chance that we see limited minutes from him, which would make it look even better. Let's go ahead and look at baseball now. So take the NBA props out. We'll just look at baseball. Been hitting on some home run props in this video as of late, which always great. Love to see it. Those are some of my favorite baseball props to bet. They've been super profitable for us over the course of the year. Our most profitable baseball betting market. A little bit of variance to it, obviously, when you're betting lines that are plus 500, plus 600. But, you hit 1, 2 of those in a day, and that's all you need for a profitable night sometimes. And here's a couple of home run props that are standing out. Alec Boehm, plus 600 to homer on FanDuel. We have the fair line at plus 559. So that is something that I think makes sense. We've got Alec Boehm, the Phillies taking on the Braves. So starting for Atlanta today is going to be Dodd, who's a young pitching prospect who's not all that well regarded. Dylan Dodd, and he's also off to a really slow start this year. 6.46 ERA. He's only made 3 starts. He's only pitched 15 innings, but I do think there's a chance that he's not totally ready for the big leagues right now as a 24-year-old lefty. So with that in mind, a couple of home run props that look good on the other side of the game, Alec Boehm and Trey Turner. Both of these, I think, are good bets worth taking shots on. We've got the fair line on Trey Turner plus 440, fair line on Boehm plus 559. So both of those popping up as positive EV bets. Another one, too, Jorge Soler. He's already hit a couple of home runs at Coors Field. We featured him on this video in both of those games. Why not go back to the well? Plus 220, still available on the board. Not a crazy amount of value, but still, we have the fair line at plus 204. He's in Coors Field. Soler is hitting the ball extremely far. Already hit a couple homers at Coors. Let's get a third one out of him. Go 3 for 3 on Soler home run props. Some other total base props that we have in here. Lane Thomas over 1.5 total bases and TJ Friedel for over 1.5. Just 2+ money bets that we have projected for fair odds. Just much different than what the market has. Plus 131 for Friedel and plus 134 for Lane Thomas is our fair market odds, whereas these could be had at plus 150 and plus 160. Something else to consider, under 8 runs is available at plus money for the Mets and Chicago Cubs game. Now, on the surface, you guys might be looking at the pitching matchup and say, Carlos Carrasco against Kyle Hendricks, who was not great last year, making his season debut. Yeah, I'm not really going to advocate this for the pitchers, the under, which seems weird because you're betting an under. Why would it not be because of the pitchers? But the reason, number one, we're getting plus money on it. But the other aspect of this as well is there's been really strong wind blowing in at Wrigley Field. So last night, for instance, neither Marcus Stroman nor Kodai Senga had their best stuff, but there was 30-mile-per-hour winds blowing in from center field. It made the offenses have a really difficult time getting going. It was a lower-scoring game. I expect more of the same today. As long as Hendricks and Carrasco are able to throw strikes, it's just going to be hard for balls to leave the park. So under 8 runs at plus money, I could get behind that for sure. Let's go and look at Prize Picks. And if you guys have any other questions or comments for myself, go check out our Chalkboard channel. Chalkboard is a chat app that's totally free to download. It is 100% free to get into our channel there. We've got a link for it below. I post additional bets in there, answer some of your guys' questions. Like I said, it's free, so take advantage of it. All right, let's see. Prize Picks Parlay, 6-leg flex play here, 12% expected EV. We've got Grichuk over 1.5 total bases. Trey Turner, talked about liking him, did a homer. Stands to reason that I would like the over 1.5 total bases as well. Grant Williams over 11.5 PRA. I think that correlates nicely with a potential reduced playing time from Malcolm Brogdon. The Brogdon once again popping up there. Derek White under 12.5 points. So I feel less good about this one. I'll actually take this out and see how it changes. The EV does go down a little bit, but just because of what we've seen out of Brogdon recently, I do get a little concerned that we're going to see Derek White play extended minutes, which would make me like that under 12.5 less. So I'll take that one out. And then Miles Michaelis over 4.5 total strikeouts. Altogether, this is a plus EV 5-leg flex parlay now over on Prize Picks. I just took out one of the legs that I didn't like. If you guys like the Derek White prop, you can add it back in. Or we could also go with Boehm, add him in. That also will increase the EV a little bit. Boehm was somebody else who I liked as a sportsbook play for over 1.5 total bases. Let's go to our parlay builder and let's see if we can be like Timothy Strong and hit another parlay today. And I'm going to take this one out. Football bet for like forever in the future. Either way, though, here we go. We have a FanDuel parlay. This is a 4-leg parlay here. Good for a 33% expected EV on 10-1 odds. We've got Alec Boehm to record 2+ bases. Miles Michaelis over 4.5 strikeouts. Alex Fado under 4.5 strikeouts. And the Max Strus under 13.5 points. We just have to check back to make sure that we have Gabe Vincent playing. If Gabe Vincent plays, then Max Strus under 13.5 points looks good. If Gabe Vincent's out, I won't really want to touch the Max Strus under 13.5 points. But either way, we've got some pretty good looking props in here. Actually, we could add in the Caleb Martin under 13.5 points instead of I'd rather do this, actually. I'd rather do... never mind. I was going to say I'd rather have Caleb Martin under 13.5 points than Max Strus, but we'll keep Listers. So there we go. 4-leg parlay over on FanDuel, 33% expected EV, 10-1 odds. Let's go get it. Let's win some money tonight, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, we've got a 7-day free trial available to OddsShopper. If you click on the link that we have below in the description box, and if you haven't done yet, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Good luck with all your bets tonight, everybody. See you back here tomorrow.